download. All right, awesome. Thanks everyone for joining tonight. Thanks everyone for watching after the fact. This is our meeting on June 13th. So happy to be here. A couple big things. Wales just recently passed their vote on the dam repair, so that's good news. And we are kind of just meeting to discuss that and then to go over anything else that's going on in town. So Kim, you had a great question before we started. Do you mind asking that again?
Oh, no. Yeah. I'd be interested from people from Sabattus and Wales, what they feel are the salient talking points or the salient points that moved a positive vote from each of their towns, because those could be also extremely important points to convince people in green. Like they're feeling the same pressure points. So if anybody has that or could put it together, those would be good talking points, both for who's presenting as well as for us in green to be able to maybe, be what is it? Like when comedians do it, we can be in the audience with our questions to help spur, we can be plants.
Yeah. So I mean, the framing of that is pretty good. They are definitely I think probably focused on the economic aspect of it because it's impactful to everybody in the town. You know what I mean? So that loss of tax revenue of the lakefront property, like Lou was saying, which is about $150,000 a year for green, correct, Lou?
Yeah.
You said there's about 111 properties on the green side. Yeah. 11 properties. So I think focusing on that loss of lakefront tax revenue, and we're asking for 400 something thousand or $385,000, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah. $385,000, you're talking about like a 3-year payback at that time, if you're thinking about it that way.
Right.
So it's good to think about it in economic terms, and not to mention too the loss of the uncalculated loss of potential revenue for businesses that receive an influx of people from recreational use of the pond. You know what I mean? Like even people just driving through green to get to Martin's Point or a friend's house to launch their boat, like getting gas, stopping to get beer, stopping to get food, like all that stuff adds up as economic value for businesses in the community. And that's just one aspect of how it's all tied together. Also too, like there's a social factor to this too. And I posted this stuff on Facebook recently on those green Facebook posts, just trying to talk about how everything is interconnected in those ways. And this watershed and the pond itself is an integrated part of the community. It has social value. So people use it for recreation, people use it to spend time there. It brings people together in ways, and the loss of that could be substantial. These things have unknown unknowns that it's just difficult to try to map out or comprehend, and they're complex and they're dynamic, and nobody take the water department in Sabattus, for example, that water that they dump the wastewater treatment into after it's treated goes into Sabattus River. And that phosphorus level in Sabattus River is higher because of the nutrient load and the amount of phosphorus that's going into Sabattus Pond, which feeds into Sabattus River, which then goes to the water treatment plant. So the wastewater that's been treated, it has been treated, that's being put back into Sabattus River, already has a high amount of phosphorus in it. So I mean, that is a factor that nobody really thought about. You know what I mean? When thinking about how we treat our environment or how these things impact us years later. So now that water department, a small water department that is using that services about 600 people in the town of Sabattus, now has to do almost $10 to $13 million fix on its infrastructure to try to meet regulations. And that's the type of stuff that, what is that going to be? Is that going to be spread over just the 600 residents that use, or the 600 properties that use that water? Is there going to be partially funded by some other way, some grants? These are the questions and things that happen that nobody can predict. And you don't know what you don't know. So it's kind of I understand people saying oh, I don't actively use the pond, why should I have to pay for it? But you do receive benefits from it, social, economic, and environmental, if you hunt in the area, I mean, I don't think I need to tell people like what happens to animals who are around bodies of water that are not in good condition. They have a tendency to leave. If there's no food or fish in that water, do you think ducks are going to be landed on Sabattus Pond as frequently as they do?
No.
I'm not a biologist, but I imagine it impacts it. We actually have
Right.
substantial like eagle population that's around the pond too, endangered
Mhm.
species. This type of stuff impacts those things. It's just all interconnected, and it's
Yeah.
extremely difficult to map. And it's just to say I don't use it so I don't benefit from it is, I think, a very short-sighted
Right.
viewpoint. So I think
Can
addressing
I,
that, yeah,
this is Mark. Can I interrupt you for a second? Did you say eagles are an endangered
Yeah,
species?
they still are.
yeah, I
The
think
bald
so.
eagles, yeah.
Well, I mean, I remember the white spotted owl. I mean, can we just say, hey, you can't take the pond away just because of the eagle?
The habitat.
I
That
don't know of the specifics, but that's a good thing to
I've
look
seen
into.
that in the past, way back.
Yeah.
It's like it carries a big stick.
Honestly, that is impactful. And I know that I mean, I've seen them many times ice fishing on the lake, and
Oh, yeah.
they eat the fish that people throw on there.
They're right there. We see them all the time.
They
I
go
love it.
over, yeah. One other thing though, too, to add to that, what you were saying about that is I'd also be interested if people, so how do I want to say this? What were some of the undercurrents or some of the things that people are talking about in those other towns that maybe flipped it? If it was more than just the financial, I'm just looking at, yeah, it's the financial piece, but there could be other things that also flip people. So just the undocumented kinds of stuff. I didn't know people had a feel for it. Like, were people coming into any of the town offices or, local places saying, yeah, I wasn't going to vote for this, but when I heard X, it made me change my mind. I'm just talking about like the incidentals, because those are things that we would want to know to stay in green. Not that it has to be talked about right now, but if somebody has some of those things, to start putting those out.
I thought that there wasn't much discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't in on, I was having problems. I couldn't get in on, I heard some of the Sabattus meeting. I didn't watch all of Wales, so I wasn't sure.
Was there any discussion?
There wasn't much discussion at town meeting, no.
No.
Okay.
No.
I thought Wayne asked.
Wayne was the only one who spoke, really. And he's from Green.
Yeah.
People said they knew the issues. That's
Yeah.
what I heard. That people were aware. They said that they were aware of the issues and they didn't need to rehash it at the meeting.
Oh, good.
The waterfront people came out in force at our town meeting, which was nice because I don't usually get to see them.
That is good to hear. And honestly, our videos on YouTube have honestly never been higher. So
Good.
there is an influx of people watching those. It's specifically the informational videos in Green and Wales that we had filmed and put on. So,
Yeah.
I mean, those are up almost to 100 views each right now. So, and it's relatively the same information in that way, because the only thing different is the numbers that are talked about, but they're relatively the same too, or
Right.
similar,
Are you cross-posting them on other Facebook pages?
So we have, yes, and I have been trying to link our page and information in like the comments that I'm sending back to people about like some of their concerns. So like, I've been trying to cross promote those too, and like certainly like leading up to Green, I think I can definitely like keep posting those things. I think leading up to the Wales town meeting, I was literally posting the Wales informational one every single time, and I had scheduled those posts. And I watched it. So the Sabattus one had about 90 views a little bit before that one, and then the Wales one was about at 50, and then like literally right up until the meeting, it was almost up at 90. And I saw it jump again today. So it is definitely being watched, which is good. And I think that at least in those meetings, I noticed that the Dam Commission has been using a lot of the similar language that we've been talking about for almost over a year now, which has been excellent to see. And talking about those complexities and talking about those interconnections, I think Jeff Burrill really focused heavily on it in the Sabattus meeting, which was good to hear. And it's a good framing point, I think, and it's a good way to try to think of it holistically in the community in which we live. So I think I'm going off the assumption, or not going off the assumption. I'm being optimistic and thinking that maybe just those that are naysaying are potentially the loudest right now. And but the informational meeting in Green, which is going to be on July 23rd, and that is going to be at the Green Fire Station, correct, Lou?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be at the Green Fire Station, and that will be. Well, let me share my screen real quick. So you all can see this. So it'll be at the Green Firehouse, and on July 23rd at 6:30 p.m. That is just the informational meeting. That's not where you're going to be able to vote on anything. The town meeting will be on August 3rd, so at 9 a.m. And is that going to be also at the fire station, Lou? Do you know, or is it town office?
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be at the fire station as well.
Okay, all right. I'm sure we'll get closer details, but yeah, I assume at the, oh, actually it says right here.
Isn't it usually at the Green Central School, the town
Oh,
meeting?
You're
it
right.
is right here,
Yeah.
Green Central School.
You're right.
Perfect. Sharon, you're good.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. So that's gonna be at the Green Central Station. Good to know. So definitely, anybody watching this in Green, it's definitely time to start talking to your neighbors about this. You all have my phone number. It's listed on our Facebook page. Have them give me a call if people want more detailed explanations of what's going on. Have them talk to Lou, who's their dam commission representative. Have them try to talk to their select board members, like they are your elected representatives. And if they're going around saying something that might not align with your perspective, it's really good to try to, talk to them about yours and let them know that you have a different perspective. If enough people do that, politicians have a tendency to change sometimes. So we hope that is the case. And call your state reps too, and but more specifically, encourage people to go to the informational meeting on the 23rd of July at 6:30, and then encourage people to go to the town meeting to vote on this subject. That is the focus now, and that is the best way that you can contribute right now, leading up to this vote. So it's not too much. You can make a Facebook post about it too. You can just message somebody or just talk to your neighbor next door. But it looks like Green might be the toughest one so far. So we should definitely try to prepare for that. And I'd like to try to potentially maybe even organize some canvassing efforts around the pond and outside of the pond area, just so we can, get a feel and talk to some people that aren't located on the pond. I mean, it does affect them, like we've said, and everything like that. So I think that's an important detail too. Any thoughts on the Walestown meeting? Anybody else that was there? Sharon? No? Okay.
Yeah, the informational meetings are really, really important. I've noticed Wales and Sabattus, there was quite a few people there, and some of them came out charging. And once they were answered the questions, things quieted down. And after that, there was no more questions. So really important, and it's for all three towns, but boy, especially for Green, from the sounds of it.
Yeah. Has anybody been talking to you, Lou, at all, or reaching out to you about anything?
No, just what I've heard.
Yeah.
Code enforcer, selectmen, now the fire chief.
Definitely. Okay. I mean, I still, this is a huge win for us, and for the community and the group. Let's not, like Wales passing it is a big thing, and it was passed by a large margin too. So it's great. I think that is saying something. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sharon, but typically your town meetings are usually only about like 30 to 40 people, right?
In the past, the last couple of years, we've had contentious school board stuff, so we've been hovering around 80.
Okay, cool. So
But we did put the dam bond article on before our fire truck bond article. You're welcome.
thank you. Appreciate it. Did you guys fund it through rainy day fund or no?
We don't have a rainy day fund.
Oh, I thought you had
Our
700,000.
undesignated fund balance is capped at what we need for cash flow, so
Oh,
we don't
you use it
we
for-
don't hoard money here.
Yeah.
We don't have that opportunity.
Okay, yeah. And I think I'm pretty sure that Green does have an undesignated fund balance. I'm not sure um what that amount is. I think it's less than Sabattus when I looked into it last, which was a few years ago. So
And I haven't seen the warrant. Do you guys know, Sharon or Nick, if the warrant are out yet?
Let me
No,
check on
they haven't finalized and signed it yet, as far as I know. I think their next selectmen's meeting,
oh, okay, yeah. Let's see if there's anything on their website
which is next Monday.
next Monday, yeah. Yep. They have archived meeting minutes. 2018. Okay, yeah. Any other questions or concerns going on in the pond and the watershed right now? Anything coming into mind or?
Well, there was some talk about some clear cutting that was going on 126, whether or not it was an apartment house or solar panels. Yeah. Has anybody read anything? I think that
It's on Sawyer Road.
no, we've talked about that one, but there was some talk on, I think it was the Sabattus Litchfield website that people discussing some clear cutting on 126.
We can hear the clear cutting. It's been going on for about a week since we've been here, across the pond from where we are.
Where
That-
is?
Is that 132?
132.
132, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, we know of the clear cutting that's going on in Sabattus Mountain right now. But that's continuing through this year. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, I mean, you can come really.
The one that I was reading about was on 126 and
Yeah, that's on
Um,
Oak Hill Mountain.
Oak Hill Mountain,
Yeah, that's
and-
on Oak Hill. That's way on the other side of town,
and it's in Wales. It's still in Watershed, isn't it?
in Litchfield.
Oh,
Clear cutting's actually in Litchfield.
yeah, the watershed
So-
is not over there.
Someone named Seidel said it was an apartment building. Isn't Seidel got to do with the fire department in Wales? Does that name sound familiar? Seidel?
No,
Is not
Siderio.
there.
Siderio?
Yeah, he wasn't serious. You couldn't put an apartment building there. Litchfield doesn't have any.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah. But I mean,
You
this
should have said car wash, maybe I would have got it.
this Google
Okay.
Earth is from 2024. So I mean, you can definitely see the differences there. I wonder if I can switch back to a different year.
Here's something.
Anyways, there we go. So yeah, you can definitely see the amount that's been cut onto that mountain now, which is interesting. And we already knew that from the drone footage that Justin was able to show us from last time. So that's good to see. Good to see that it's actually being watched. Okay. Anything else? Nothing. Okay. Awesome. So I wanted to talk a little bit about our joint or our year event that is going to be on August 17th. And we are still going to finalize that. And we, as the board or the interim board, are going to meet to discuss those specifics, and then we're going to send out some details and stuff like that. I think I said last week I was going to send out a poll to try to see how many people are coming or might be coming to the event. All are welcome, and it's going to be our annual event where you vote in board members and everything like that. So we are going to. I'll send out a poll for that to gauge that, and I'll connect with the interim board. So we can meet and start planning that information and start planning that stuff too. So more details to come on that. I've been pretty swamped down here, but hopefully next week I'll have some more time after work, so that'll be good. But exciting stuff. Nothing else. I know it's kind of a short meeting tonight, but appreciate everybody watching. Anything else before we close out?
Next meeting?
Next meeting, yes. So our next meeting, let me pull up the calendar. So next meeting would be the 26th, if we're going on Wednesday, which I think we should try to stick to. So let me see, let me just make sure my work stuff is good to go. I don't have any, let me just make sure I don't have any events that night. I do not. So that one works. So I'm going to put that in my calendar for 6 p.m. on the 26th. And I will be, since I'm not at my home computer right now, I will be uploading this a little bit later tonight, but it will be available hopefully later tonight, if not tomorrow morning. But we are good for the next meeting. And please, again, don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. You know, the more people talk about this stuff with the people that they know, I think definitely the more chance that this will get passed in green. So highly recommend anybody watching in green, please talk to your neighbors. If you know anybody in green, please talk to them. And like I said, don't hesitate to let them or to give them my email or phone number. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody and everybody about this. So extremely important for us as a group moving forward. And Lou, have you had any more testing recently? Sorry, I forgot to ask about that.
Yeah, every 2 weeks we've been going out. We've been out 3 times.
Excellent. This is phenomenal. So, I mean, that's wonderful to hear. So, how's it been going? Good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been using Dan's boat and stuff?
The first week was Sabattus Fire Department, then Dan the last 2.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And
Yep.
Christine's been doing DO. And so.
Yeah. Yep. And I heard Christine was also at the Sabattus town meeting too, because she lives in Sabattus, correct? Yeah.
I wasn't at the town
Oh,
meeting
okay. Yeah.
for that one.
I think she was. Yeah. I think my brother was talking about it.
Oh, yeah, because she's the one that made the motion to get the funds from.
Undesignated fund balance. Yeah.
That's the one, yeah.
That's good. We love to see that. We love to see our people out there representing and spreading the word. So like I said, just that's what we can do. It's the best thing that we can do right now if you're watching and you want to know if you can help. That is the absolute best thing you can do. Just get out there and talk. So appreciate everybody coming out and getting on, and I hope you all have a good night. And
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks,
no
Nick.
problem.
Thank
Thank
you.
Everybody.
Thanks
you
everyone. Have a
later.
great night.
Yeah.
Bye.
Great job.
Thanks.
See ya.
See ya.